Hi guys, this time I am reviewing the Fantastic Four comics. These are issues 570 to 578. They were published in 2010 originally. So they have art and writing by Jonathan Hickman, Dale Eaglesham, and Neil Edwards. So obviously we are 570 issues into this run of Fantastic Four. So the group is pretty well settled in knowing who they are and what their powers are. They're pretty comfortable with each other as a team. And also Reed and Susan have children, Val and Frank, and they're so cute. These kids that grew up with these superheroes around them all the time, and yet they're still kind of normal. Even though the girl Val is like a super genius, which is really cool to watch also. So there is not an origin story in here. This isn't a revamping or anything. So if you don't know a lot about the Fantastic Four, I am not sure this is the place to start. I got by reading these comics only having watched the movie that came out this summer, so I had a basic idea of who they were, so I wasn't completely lost. If you don't know anything about the Fantastic Four, maybe not the best place to start, or maybe Wikipedia at first. Or, just jump in and go with it. Why not? In Volume 1, Solve Everything, Reed is a super genius. He's Mr. Fantastic. And he travels to another dimension where he meets a different alternate versions of himself. So these are all the different Reed Richards from the different Earths. And they all have different experiences and they all have different powers. And so he's talking to himself, but they're himself with different other formative things going on in their lives. So they are different because of their pasts and they see the world differently and their powers change so they can do different things, and they want this Reed to come help them solve all the problems ever. To solve everything. And it is a really tempting offer and he wants to do it, but he also has a family back home. He has Susan and he has his children and he has his best friends and he has to think about them also. So it was cool to see this expanded universe and to see more of the Marvel universe, and to also see Reed kind of struggling with what he wants to do and what he actually cares about most. We also get to see his kids, and his son is like super excited to meet Spider-Man, even though his own parents are both superheroes, but he's obsessed with Spider-Man. His birthday's coming up and he wants Spider-Man to come. And we had to see how the team functions and how it's all one big family. Like these are his uncles. The other members of the team are his uncles, and like how they all function together. It was really cool to see that domestic side of this team also. So totally digging this one. In Volume 2, Prime Elements, they start exploring and finding other worlds. So there is like this pocket civilization that developed on Earth within inside a glacier, and they are like fish people, but they have developed their own society and their own way of doing things. And so the Fantastic Four makes first contact from the rest of Earth, basically, with this group, and we get to see a mole person, and they're aliens, so they're like inhumans from other planets. So the same experiments that happened on Earth to form the inhumans were happening on other planets and formed their own superpowered species. So all these superheroes and people with superpowers are joining together, and they want the Fantastic Four to join them and help them out. And maybe they don't necessarily have, being not from Earth, they may not have the same goals that Earth has. So the Fantastic Four has to deal with that struggle also. A lot of world building going on in these two volumes. At least from my perspective, because I still haven't read a lot of Marvel comics, and what I have been reading have been like relaunched things. So it seemed like every character that got introduced was like a new character to me. Like even Spider-Man, I haven't read Spider-Man comics, so to me these all just came off as like tons and tons of world building, because that's what it is for me. If you already have been reading these, then maybe it's not so much. So it was also cool to kind of see the difference between where Marvel was 10 years ago with Fantastic Four versus the newer stuff that they're coming out with Marvel now, and with the Secret Wars and what they're doing now that they have all this momentum building up from the Marvel movies that have been, the Marvel Cinematic Universe, the MCU. So to see how they've been able to develop that and translate that into the comics, and it does change the comics a bit. So it's kind of cool to see the differences. I definitely think that I definitely like some of the more recent comics better, the ones that I've been reading. A lot of the ones that are focused primarily on women, like Susan Storm Richards is a woman, like obviously. Um, but to see she's also kind of surrounded by guys. I don't know. It's kind of different. It's different, and it was cool to see the differences. The art in these comics are what I would think of as pretty standard comic book art. I have been spoiled by reading Hawkeye and Black Widow, and now all comic book art looks pretty much the same to me unless they do something fantastic. So I didn't really notice a whole lot, I gotta admit. There's a lot of vibrant colors, there's not a lot of overdrawing, so pretty easy to tell what's going on. I like the page layouts, pretty normal. So there you guys go. There is my review for the Fantastic Four Comics issues 570 to 578 from 2010. Let me know down below if you guys have read these comics or are fans of the Fantastic Four or what you think I should read next. So yeah, I love you guys. Peace out and keep reading. Bye.